Welcome to Harlem Liberation School. We are a dynamic black nationalist and Pan-Africanist organization headquartered in Harlem, dedicated to empowering black people to, in the words of Brother Malcolm X, wake up, clean up, and stand up. Our mission is to equip you with the tools and knowledge needed to resist oppression and build thriving, independent communities. Here you'll find powerful black political education, deep liberation theory, and historical insights that connect our past struggles to present-day solutions. Through many courses, engaging documentaries, and inspiring commentary, we provide actionable information designed to spark change. Join us for thought-provoking interviews with brilliant activists, educators, and institution builders as we unite to build a better future for black people worldwide. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace and black power. Hey you, I know you dig in Harlem Liberation School, all those interviews and those mini documentaries. Stop playing, you know Harlem Liberation School is fire. So what you need to do right now, if you're watching on YouTube, is click that red subscribe button. Share the video, add your comments, and click the notification bell. Peace and black power families, Brother Agyei Tyehimba from Harlem Liberation School, where, as you know, we teach black people to wake up, clean up, and stand up in the important words and three-part outline of Brother Malcolm X. Well, family, it's good to be amongst you again. I want to thank you all. Harlem Liberation School's videos have been getting a lot of traction, and we thank you for that. I can see that hundreds of people are sharing videos. A lot of people are coming through and watching them. We just need more people who come through and watch them to subscribe, family. Based on the metrics that I see, we should have 20 to 30,000 subscribers, family. So please, when you come through, you like the video, don't keep it to yourself. Share that good food and click that subscribe button. It costs you nothing, right? Costs you nothing. Click the subscribe button. And even right now, why don't you take a minute or two and see if you can share this link to somebody right now, family? That would be a great thing. I'm going to set up our presentation for this evening. Make sure that we're ready for that. And I see a comment. We got Queen B. Brenda says, Wukusu to the family. By now, y'all know that Wukusu is an acronym that means wake up, clean up, stand up, and that we get it from, again, Brother Malcolm X. It's the greeting at Harlem Liberation School. So when you hear people saying Wukusu, or you see people writing Wukusu in caps, that generally means that they are part of Harlem Liberation School. They're friends of Harlem Liberation School. They've heard us saying it, I'm pretty sure. And so we're thankful for Brother Malcolm for giving us that three-part outline. So important. Today, family, we are talking about respect. You know Aretha Franklin, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Find out what it means to me. Respect. Now, I remember growing up in Harlem. In the 70s, I was a kid. In the 80s, I was a teen, right? And 90s, young adult. And I remember that a lot of our people got into trouble trying to earn respect in ways that were nefarious. Not good. So some of us thought if we beat a lot of people up, that was a way to get respect. And I guess amongst some people it was. If we could pull the guns out and we shooting up the place, that was a way to get respect. And to some people it was. And some of us found out as we got older and more worldly and more wise that we were taught wrong. Some of us had the wrong exposure to the wrong food, right? And so you may know everybody wants respect and attention, right? But some of us don't know how to go about it. So to avoid taking the shortcuts, embarrassing ourselves, being egocentric, being attention seekers, there are legitimate and honorable ways to earn respect, family. And the same energy that you would put into earning it the wrong way, you can earn it the right way with the same energy. And so we're going to go through that today. I said in the earlier broadcast on Facebook Live that I really hope that in the recorded, if not this live version, the recorded version of this, you all will bring your children to watch this with you. It's important that the things that our kids should not have to wait to their 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 to learn the lessons. If we learned it, we should be imparting it to our kids young. And you'd be surprised how old a kid has to be to soak in some information, family. They learn curse words really young. If you watch some of these silly TikTok videos, they learn how to dance really young. They learn how to quote rap songs really young. So guess what? They can learn lessons and start applying them really young. Let's get into it, family. 10 honorable ways to earn respect. And it's very important I say honorable. Shaking your ass and saying the most vile, ugly things, family, is not on that list. Number one, I think we should start with a very important story. Those who know me have heard this before, so bear with me. It's the story of the turkey and the bull. Once upon a time, there was a turkey. And the turkey was very upset and saddened. So his good friend, the bull, came by and said, "Hey, turkey, why are you so upset? What's wrong? You look down." And the turkey said, "Man, all my life I've been trying to get to the top of that tree. And I just can't seem to do it. I can't get too far up." Now, those of you who know, turkeys aren't known to fly particularly high distances or at all, right? So the bull, feeling sorry for his friend, and said, "Well, maybe I can help. Maybe you have an energy problem." Turkey said, "What do you mean, bull?" Bull said, "Maybe you don't have the requisite fuel to get to the top of that tree." So in a very weird suggestion, in a weird move, the bull says, "Why don't you eat some of my dung?" Now, as you know, dung is his feces, his solid waste, right? Eat some of that and it'll give you the energy you need. So, turkeys, by the way, if you've been to a turkey farm, you know that turkeys have no problem eating dung. So the turkey said, okay, ate some of the bull's waste, got up to one of the branches of the tree, said, "Oh," but he couldn't get far, so he came back down. Said, "Man, that was good. I got up, a little ways to the tree." Said, "Boss, I gotta go. I'll come back." The next day he tried it, ate some more of the dung. He got up to the second level of the tree. And then he said, "Man, if I had a little bit more of that dung, then I could probably get to the top." So the bull said, "Man, have at it. Do your thing." Turkey ate some more, took out all the way to the top of the tree and was celebrating. Unfortunately, it was like the week before Thanksgiving. So a farmer saw this huge turkey dancing on top of the tree, aimed his gun, pop, and shot the turkey right off the tree. The moral of the story is, bullshit might get you to the top, but it won't keep you there, family. You're going to need more than the bullshit. It's going to be more than how you look and all that. You're going to have some solid things that keep you there, right? And that's what the purpose of this is. We don't want to be, because I know a group of people who I'm not going to name on this show who had to go to other people's native lands and take people from there, kidnap people, rape people, steal their labor, couldn't do their own work, couldn't come up with their own original ideas, had to steal people's dance forms and artistic forms and all types of stuff. Religious practices, it's crazy. We don't want to be like them. We want to be people who can stand on our own too. So step one, and these are not in any exact order, family. Just had to order them number them for ordering purposes. Number one, honorable way to develop respect, develop expertise in an area of your choosing. You into painting, develop expertise in that. Know the history of it. Know important people, pioneers in it. Know different ways to create it and whatever. It could be anything. It could be education, writing, filmmaking. It could be anything. Interior design. It could be construction. It could be anything. But one definite way to earn legitimate respect is when you can stand on your own and you can give people an expert opinion on something because you've done the proper study and you have the proper experience in it. And again, this is anything you want. This is not on some what to do. It's your interest. It could be dance. It could be anything. Because somewhere in the world, there are people who want to know what you know. Right? So that's very important. Develop expertise in an area important to you. We can't stop with the expertise. You can't see, because some people just get knowledge as expertise, but we got to take the next step. Share your knowledge with the community. How do you do that? You create a body of work related to your expertise. Well, what does that mean? Let's say that you're a person like Catherine Dunham, who's this pioneering figure in terms of African dance in our history, right? So she goes to Africa, different studies with different masters of dance. She comes back. She has expertise. She's studied. She's practiced. She knows how to do it. But she starts developing schools. She starts teaching people. She starts having films and videos, and people can now see, oh, Catherine Dunham, how she does this dance. And so when I was coming up and we go to African dance classes, a lot of those dances that we do even to this day come through Catherine Dunham, who brought a lot of those dance traditions and rhythms and steps from the motherland and brought it here, and it's circulated all over the country, right? So it's very important. Just like your area of expertise, a body of work can be created around anything. Case in point, Dave Chappelle's a comedian. He's not necessarily like some type of a political activist, but he has a body of work. How so? He has all of these comedy specials that are recorded, right? I'm sure he probably has DVDs, which are kind of old fashioned now. But if you go all over YouTube, you'll see Netflix and all these places, movies. He has credit. His name is credit on movies he's written. He's appeared in movies. He has a body of work. That is important because it establishes you as a person who knows what they're talking about. It doesn't mean you're infallible and you perfect. It doesn't mean that other people don't know what they're talking about. But it means you got a body. You did more than just talk. You're doing more than just talking. You're doing more than just, this is what I think. You have a body of work. So you don't even have to be in a person's presence. They could go read your book, watch your film. You feel me? Look at your art. If you do a photographer, you have a portfolio or an artist. So a body of work can manifest in a whole lot of different ways, right? People who are athletes would have things like films of their games, you know, so that coaches, people who are interested in scouting you, they're going to look at your films. They're going to look at your films, running backs, point guards, whatever you do, right? Body of work, very important. You know why else this is important is because one day you will not be here. And when you create, if people have to rely on Agyei for political education, oh, good luck, because I won't be here one day. I'll be in a whole nother dimension with my ancestors. But if I create a body of work, you don't have to be in my presence. I don't have to be there. Your great-great-grandkids can read a book, watch a video, go to a school. You see, create a body of work, family. And body of work includes not just documents like videos and books, and it includes institutions. Build institutions. You feel the community is lacking spirituality, Black liberation theology, build a church. Build something that's going to feed the people. People not eating right, create a pantry. Build an institution that will outlive you so that people can eat literally or metaphorically, whether you're there or not. That takes a great degree of thinking and planning, thinking ahead. Okay, let's go to number 3, an honorable way to earn respect. And guess what? We can all do this. Just takes commitment, consistency, and discipline. 3, develop the habit of completing tasks. Now, do I mean tasks like the kind of frivolous thing? No, I mean the tasks that are important to what it is you do, right? So if I write books, I have to have a deadline in my mind. Okay, this is the time by which I'm trying to get this out. These are the things that I need to have an outline. I need to think about who I'm getting this to. I need to research that. I need to know where I'm sending it. I need to have my literary agent complete those tasks, family. Don't wait on that because time will go by, right? So get into, and that's a habit. That's not something people come out the womb and they just complete tasks. That's something that you have to work at. And this means when you don't feel well, when you feel great, when you got 2 days of rest, when you got 3 hours, 4 hours, You have to complete certain tasks in order to what? Develop that expertise, to know what you're talking about, and to build that body of work, right? At a high level. Number 4. And by the way, any questions or comments, throw them in. I'll do my best to recognize them, put them up, and address them. This does not have to be a one pony show, so to speak. Number 4, very important. Don't be transactional. By that, I mean, when you go to the store, let's say you're going to get a carton of milk. You got the money. You go in, I get a carton of milk. You get the carton of milk. You pay the person money. You get your carton of milk. It's transactional. There's no love. There's no, people don't necessarily respect you. You know, that's the extent of that relationship is you gave something to get something. And that's it. But to get respect, to earn respect from people, you can't go around saying, I'm going to do this so that I can all the time. At the same time, if you know your worth and your value, and you know you put time and energy into this, you see people buying everything else in America, throughout the world, from all types of merchants who don't even love us. So yeah, you should be able to say, hey, you got to pay for these shoes I made too. Just the same way you pay for all that stuff. But what I'm saying is, in you developing your expertise and developing this idea of I'm an expert, or I'm a person of worth and value with respect to this thing, don't always expect to get something. There'll be times when you might be doing something and you won't get paid. I remember speaking and I wasn't getting paid to do it. I was so happy that somebody thought I had anything to say. I would go and speak for free until a sister, an older sister in the church where I had just spoken for Black History Month, said, young man, how much did pastor pay you? And I said, oh no, ma'am, I don't accept money. I didn't do it for money. She said, oh no. Dude, that was excellent. She dug in her purse, gave me a $50 bill. Couldn't believe it. I was so embarrassed. I could just see my mother saying, you better give that lady her money back. I said, I can't accept that, man. She said, if you don't accept this money, I'll be very much feel disrespected. She just about put me in a chokehold to take that money. My point was, don't go expecting, you don't do stuff to get something from it. Sometimes what you're getting from it is a feeling of helping. Sometimes what you're getting from it is experience, right? So think of it that way. Don't be one of these people you figure out, well, if I do this, what am I going to get? And because you're going to blow a lot of great opportunities, you're going to create a lot of resentment and bad feelings from people. It's like, man, this sister only come around. They only got something when they getting something. What type of issue is that? You know how people talk about you. What type of issue is that? People have to be able to depend on you and know that you're right and exact, that you're coming for real. And one of the ways you demonstrate that is don't get too caught up in the transactional piece. The money will come. You'll have to do some sacrifice. You get some experience. It'll come, family. Have faith. But don't be a money grubber. Number 5, one of the biggest ways you can earn legitimate respect from your community, even your enemies. I want to say this. These 10 things are so powerful that even people who don't like you are going to respect you. Even if they don't like you, they're going to respect you. And trust me, you're going to find in life, if you're doing things right, there'll be a lot of people who don't like you because they got insecurities, but they're going to respect you, right? They're going to respect the way you do that hair. They're going to respect the way you do the nails. They're going to respect the way that you do your comedy show, the way you do your art, the way you do your film, your books, your lectures, whatever you do. Right? Number 5, create solutions to problems. Right now, with the election of your boy, whose name I shall not mention, Black people are in a precarious position. Now, we know white people or certain elements of them have been oppressive to our people for millennia. Right? So part of us is like, man, here we go again. What are we going to do? This guy got control of all the branches of government. There's a lot going down with this guy, man. The announcements he's making on TV doesn't look good for us. And there'll be a tendency to be afraid. And that's a legitimate emotion, family. Don't be embarrassed if you're afraid. I've been afraid and we've all been afraid. It's just that the leaders in our community push past their fears. That's all. They don't want to get fired, kept out of getting employment, assassinated, imprisoned, talked badly about, people misunderstanding them. But they say, hey, if that's what it is, that's what it is. We gotta move ahead in this society, in our lives. Create solutions to problems is a foolproof way and an honest way to get people's respect. And again, you're going to notice this is not a pigeonhole situation. There's room for all types of Black people to get in on this. That's the beauty of these 10 things. So if you are a person who, I want to use the queen, but I don't want to like give up her idea. I don't want to get to her idea. But let's say you're a person that, for instance, there was a brother. They had elevators, but the problem was the timing of when the elevator came to a floor and when it took off and the doors closing wasn't coordinated. So a lot of people were getting on elevators and trying to get on and getting closed in between the doors, getting seriously injured or being dragged up to another flight in the elevator. But a brother came up with a timing mechanism that made sure that when you got on the elevator, you could do something that the doors would stop. It wouldn't take off to the other floor and all these things. He saw that there was a problem and he came up with a solution. Or John Matelizer, right? There was people would make, back in the days, they made shoes by hand. All shoes were made by hand. Today we say, oh, my handmade shoes. Back then, that was all that was made, with handmade shoes. He said, man, it takes a whole really long time to make shoes by hand because he had to sew the sole on to the shoe, right? He came up with a machine to sew the sole onto the already existing shoe, right? Therefore, he quadrupled the amount of shoes that a shoe factory could make in a day, right? He had a solution to a problem. George Washington Carver, he did more than discover the peanut. He actually helped the Southern farmers. The Southern farmers were growing the same crops, right? In a patch of land, and didn't understand that when you grow those crops are taking nutrients from the soil. The soil is now barren. So if you grow the same crops, then what happens is you take all the nutrients out of the soil, and the soil is now of no use. It's no longer arable. You can't use it to grow crops. So what he told him to do is you have to rotate crops. And he said, and in fact, there's certain crops, if you plant them, will help your land, right? So he helped people using the peanut and the soybean and other crops to replenish the nutrients in the soil, and taught them the science of, you don't just plant something. You got to think about what nutrients you need for this and what you have to put back, and how you make sure that you don't completely deplete the nutrients in this soil. This brother was so bad, family. He said, and he was intuitive. He said he could hear the plants talking to him, family. He wasn't crazy. He was just in touch with agriculture, with nature. Create solutions to problems. Booker T. Washington famously said that the world will beat its way to the man or woman that can build a better mousetrap. Look at that, a mousetrap. We don't think of that as being something extravagant or exotic. But his point is, if you could do something to help solve people's problems. I went to college with a brother named Ike. His father, they were from Atlanta. He gave me these razors for free all the time. I said, what is this, bro? He said, oh, these are special razors. My father invented them. He said they're for Black men, and they had this foil on them and all this stuff. He said that if you shave with these, you won't get ingrown hairs, and therefore you won't get razor bumps, right? So think about all the things you use, and think about there was a time when those things weren't there. And innovative, creative people had to have the vision to say, that's an opportunity for me to solve a problem, right? And so people stepped in and did that. If you can solve problems, and mind you, this could be with physical objects. This could be, I think we just saw a video about a brother, a young brother who allegedly has found a way to take plastic and turn it into fuel you could use for like cars and stuff. These type of things will always make you an important person in society. People have to respect that, right? So think about that. Think about when you see situations, what are the problems? But don't stop with the problem. Be more analytical. Say, what would make this better? How could we make this better? Steve Jobs. Think about before Steve Jobs. I remember when we had these typewriters. You had to have white out when you made a mistake, or you had to do the whole thing over. And people like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs made these personal computers, because prior to them, computers took up 4, 5, 6 huge rooms in an office building. They were huge contraptions that you couldn't possibly bring home. They took the power of a computer, made it much faster, and put it right in your hands. And now we even have laptops. Well, Steve Jobs said, wait a minute. What if I could make a device that could play music, play video, you could do computing on it, right? And you could use it as a phone, right? Bill Gates said, what if I could take this complex computer language and make it just Windows? You could use a mouse and you could navigate stuff and don't have to know BASIC or Fortran computer language to operate the computer. So they created solutions to problem. I cannot stress this enough. This is very important. And we can do this politically. If we see people are teaching things that are not right and exact or inaccurate, or that cause us to waste time and money, cause us division, and we say, oh no, I think there's a better way to approach this. It doesn't always have to be things. It could be ideas, the way we think about something, right? So we have people that were pioneers with astronomy. People that were pioneers with geography. People thought the earth was flat. I ain't going to tell you what people thought the earth was flat. And then people came and said, nah, the earth ain't flat, family. You're wrong. That's it. You see? So it's very important we have people that are innovative, family, is what we're getting at. Be innovative. Solve the problem. While the other people complaining, you should be thinking about what can we put here that could change this? Not only can it be lucrative, but it can change the world and make people's lives better. Raise the quality of life. Number 6, that all important C word. Demonstrate commitment. Commitment. Denzel famously said at the NAACP Image Awards that you don't start anything without commitment. Without commitment, you don't start anything. Without consistency, you don't finish anything. Commitment. We often confuse this with different things. Commitment means that you are prepared to stay in there, to hang in, no matter what happens. That you're pledging your resources, your time, your energy to a person or to an ideal or an institution, right? So when people see people talk and do this stuff all the time, but the people that get respected are people that say, whoa, I knew this brother back in 1981. He was talking about nationalism then. And I seen him get these college degrees. I seen him go to these different institutions. I seen him working these different jobs. I seen him create institutions when he was getting paid and when he was getting attention and when he was getting no money and no attention. He or she is what? Committed. Why is commitment so important? That we demonstrate, get into the habit of being committed. Because it distinguishes you from 99.9% of people on the planet Earth. Everybody wants better. Everybody wants to be smarter. Everybody wants respect. Everybody wants people to recognize, hey, how you doing, so-and-so? Right? But everybody's not prepared to do the work to earn that. When you're committed, you stand out from everybody else. Because it means that everybody else was only there when things were good. Only there when the person leading it was fine. Only there when it was trendy, that you stayed the course. And therefore, when people demonstrate commitment, we can what? Trust them. We tend to say, this person's been here all this time. The good and the bad. When the money was in, when it wasn't, when we were struggling, I think I can trust them. I don't think they're here just to benefit, because there have been times they were here and they had to give up stuff. They wasn't just getting, they were giving. Commitment is a game changer. Most of us think it's just with marriage. No. Commitment can be you're committed to an idea. You're committed to healthy living. You're committed to not being divisive or toxic. You're committed to being a problem solver, not a problem maker. You're committed to bringing honor to your family and your ancestors. You're committed to showing the world that you were raised right. You're committed to our youth, making sure that they go the right way. You're committed to building institutions. And see, so commitment can manifest in a million ways. But this, family, is very important. If we're talking about honorable ways to earn respect, show commitment. Now, on the other hand, we have another type of person. They flying back and forth, right? Imagine if you met somebody and they said they were married 20 times. I'm just saying. What would your first thought be? That don't sound like they committed to it. Or they got some really bad luck in relationships. That's 20. My God. You see, one of the reasons that they say that politicians should be in long-term relationships, married or otherwise, is because the presumption is, it's not always true. The presumption is that if you can be committed to this person over a period of time, if you can be committed to that organization over a period of time, to this political cause over a period of time, you could be committed to me. If you could be committed there, you could be committed here. And so that is very important. Let us move on. We're talking about 10 ways to earn respect legitimately. Number 7, be kind and be helpful to people. Self-explanatory. Self-explanatory. I know people coming up, they didn't necessarily have a specific talent. They weren't necessarily most popular, the most charismatic, but they were so kind and helpful. They were the type of people you can go to and for help, and they say, oh, and they could direct you to somebody. Oh yeah, I know. Mr. So-and-so, do you know so-and-so? Oh yeah. And they direct you to somebody. You're looking for this, you're looking for that. They could direct you, and they were always kind and welcoming and helpful. They never made you feel bad for asking for help, right? They were inspiring. If you came to them and you looked down and said, what's wrong, son? Oh, Mr. So-so, Miss So-and-so, you know, and they talk you up, give you a Bible verse, hit you up with something from the Quran, give you some poetry, quote a song, tell you a story. And by the time you leave Mr. or Miss So-and-so, your spirits have been lifted. You're no longer angry, confused, right? All right. So be kind and helpful to people, which we should be doing anyway. That's a legitimate way to earn people's respect. Some people don't have any particular gift or skill or area of expertise, but what they do is they're so loving and caring and empathetic with people in their community that people love them and lean on them and depend on them. Number 8, very important. You want to earn respect? Don't go out here gangbanging. Don't try to be the flyest, the cutest, the wealthiest. Get the bag. Family, be resilient. Demonstrate resilience in the face of conflict and challenge and struggle and pain. Why is this so important? Because, well, people go through stuff all the time. Every day people die, family. Every day somebody's in a car accident. Somebody's been murdered. Somebody's been assaulted. We hear people's traumas as adults or as children. So everybody walking this earth goes through some pain. Now, there may be different levels of it, but everyone goes through it. There's nobody on this earth that can win the Olympics of pain, and we shouldn't even compete about who got the most pain. Pain is pain, right? The difference, though, is that there's some people who do their best, no matter what they're going through, put a smile on their face, to think positively, to look at the bright side, to see what lessons this uncomfortable situation, this awkward situation, this embarrassing situation. I've learned lessons from embarrassment in my life. I've learned lessons from pain and suffering. I've learned lessons just by listening, shutting my mouth, not trying to talk all the time, and listening to people and observing people. But one big characteristic of people that we respect are those that we know, man, she's been through it and still here. I think one of the reasons and there's a lot of reasons, but one reason people love Brother Malcolm X is his story. When you read the autobiography, watch the films and the documentaries, and you hear his speeches, and you realize, wow, here's a guy who as a kid was a child when his father was murdered by racists, right? Who then tried to act like he killed himself. Here's a child who had to deal with his mother having a breakdown, raising all these children, I think 9 children. The husband's no longer there. She was a stay-at-home mom. So it was rough economically. She had a breakdown. Then the state comes in, removes the kids, pronounces her crazy, sends her to a psychiatric ward, and then parcels all these children out to foster homes. Family. So just think about how rough that is to be disconnected, displaced from your home and disconnected from your family, including your mother. Your father's killed and now your mother's gone. And then you get into the streets. They taught you right because they taught you Garveyism because they were Garveyites, but life happened. And now you in the streets, you doing ABC, you doing a little bit of pimping, doing a little bit of selling drugs, using drugs, telling white sailors where they could meet black prostitutes. Your life takes a left turn. Then you're in jail. You breaking in people's homes. And yet you come through all of that, things that would have absolutely crushed other people, and we would have never heard from him again. But Malcolm dealt with all that and came out sharper and stronger and has become one of our most revered and emulated and respected and beloved ancestors, family. I don't know too many people that are in the black nationalist, Pan-Africanist movements or have those revolutionary sort of ideology who don't, at some point in their life, credit, hey, man, I read Malcolm X Speaks. I saw this speech. I read autobiography. Huh? I mean, millions of people, right? So demonstrate resilience. Stop the complaining over every little thing and instead adopt a gratitude attitude. When you're tempted to complain, family, instead of complaining, say, well, I may have gone through this medical calamity, but at least I had insurance. I may not have money to get 125,000 different presents for everybody for Christmas or Kwanzaa, but I have enough to pay my bills. Gratitude attitude, family. The gratitude attitude helps to develop resilience. And we as Africans, new Africans, black people, need to be resilient because we live, if you're in the United States or any place in the world, we typically occupy environments that are hostile, that are resentful and toward us. So we must be tough, resilient. We can't break down when things don't go our way every time. That's not to say that we don't have the right to cry and be vulnerable, but we got to be resilient. We got to be able to bounce back. Very important. Number 9, be authentic and be original. That's a way to earn respect. Think about the people you knew growing up or some friends you have, and there was a guy or a sister on the block or in your neighborhood that kind of dressed a little different. They spoke a little different. They had interests that weren't like everybody else. Everybody else is doing go-karts or playing games or into the sports or whatever. This person was playing instruments. And that was interesting to you because you said, wow, that's different. And they were cool with playing instrument. Other people teased, well, you a nerd, or this person was into school real heavy. This person was a voracious reader. And they got teased because they weren't the so-called typical person in the neighborhood. But some people looked at them and said, wow, they don't mind being who they are. Authenticity and originality are always seductive. And I don't mean that in a sexual way. I mean that intellectually we say, wow, this person has the courage to be who they are, no matter what anybody else thinks or says, or whether it's popular or not. But also, this is about not mimicking other people. So I say be original. Now, we all are inspired and influenced by other people. I have, oh my God, so many people that have influenced me. People I looked at as a young man, and I took a page from their book. I took notes. I said, Dr. Turner speaks. He always can reference something. Dr. John Henrik Clarke can give you a reference. I want to be able to do that. So you can be influenced by people, but you should not be directly mimicking other people. You should be free and strong enough to be yourself. And you could have all these influences, but you take something and you represent it your way. Right? It's kind of like when Anita Baker sang the song Angel, and then my sister Lala Hathaway sang it and kind of made it her own, even though it's the same song. That's what I mean. Not mimicking. She didn't make the song sound just like Anita Baker. If she did that, why she need to make the song? So it's important that we develop the courage and the security, being secure with ourselves to say, man, I'm going to do me. In other words, I'm going to participate in the activities that interest me. And I don't care if it's popular with people in the house, the block, the neighborhood, wherever. Right? Be yourself. Because you know what? Being yourself is one of the best ways to be a fulfilled, non-miserable person, family. No matter what goes on with you. If you say, man, I'm cool with who I am. I'm cool with how I am. I got work to do, but I'm cool with who I am and how I am. And I have my own interests. I'm not trying to be like nobody. I'm trying to copy what other people do, mimic other people. I am who I am originally. Where people say, well, there will never be, you know how people say there'll never be another Stevie Wonder or Ray Charles or these different, that's how you want to be. They were influenced by other musicians, but they have a unique sound, right? A unique style. That's what you want to do. That's a surefire way to earn the respect of people, family. Be authentic, be who you really are. Don't lie to people because don't tell people stuff they want to hear to be popular. Be who you are, even when it's not popular, because it may be uncomfortable, but you'll be free. And it's not like being free in that way, at least. And then our last piece. All of these things are great, but they mean nothing and they're shallow and they're hollow unless we are tying all of these great things we talked about to building and uplifting our people, our community, right? That is important. Now, if our people were all wealthy and politically empowered and we all had all the food we could eat and we owned property and, and we had the respect of everybody all over the world, maybe this wouldn't take as much of a precedent. But because the opposite is true, because still a white man with a high school diploma makes more on average than a black man or woman with a college degree. And because so many of us are unfairly and disproportionately locked up in Americans' prison system, and I can go on, and so many of us are disproportionately attacked, mistreated, and murdered by police officers, it means we have a special mandate to build and uplift our community. It means it's not enough for me to just read. Oh, I just like to read. Yeah, I like to read. But read about some current events. Learn about the world you occupy, how it works. Learn about some of your history, some of your culture, some of the important pioneers in the field in which you're interested, right? It means that we take our unique gifts our authenticity, our body of work, right? And we share it with the community in the hopes that we make our contribution to make the world better than it was when we inherited it. I think it was Marion Wright Elderman who said that service to the community is the rent we pay for our space, on earth, for our life. And I would agree with that. And everything we do, we should be trying to say, how can I use what I've learned? Use, if I'm blessed with a material abundance, how can I use my money to help? How can I use my know-how, my expertise to help? How can I use my skill set, my personality traits to help? My contacts. Some of us are blessed to know thousands of people in all walks of life. How can I use that to help others? Right? And with that said, family, I am done. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to quickly go through a recap. Develop expertise. Number 1, be a master of something. Develop your craft. Create a body of work in that expertise. Write your books, do your films, have a portfolio, have your different products or documents or institution that relates to your body, to your expertise. Develop the habit of completing what you start. Very important. People respect people like that, and they can trust that if you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. Don't be transactional. Don't be a money grubber. Don't do everything to get something. Don't think like that. Some of the best things in life and rewards aren't necessarily monetary, but they may be, you develop relationships with friends and contacts and knowledge and different opportunities. Be a person that creates solutions, that solves problems, not just sees them and complains about them. You will always stand out if you do that. Number 6, demonstrate commitment. Show that you can commit to people, institutions, and ideas, family. People trust and depend on and believe people who they see, whether they're committed to that, maybe they could be committed to this. They're committed to that, maybe they could be committed to me. But if they see you flying, you always doing 100 different things on any day of the week, and you never do anything consistently, it's hard to trust you, right? So that's very important. Number 7, be kind and helpful to people without expecting something in return. Number 8, demonstrate resilience in the face of challenge and struggle, pain and suffering, right? Number 9, be authentic and original. Don't be a phony, fake type. Be yourself. And also, yes, have influences from other people, but always don't go around trying to mimic and imitate other people. Be you and develop your own unique flavor and style and perspective and interests, right? Very important. And lastly, we said, build and uplift your community. We always going to respect people. They don't have to be perfect. We don't have to agree with everything they say, but we respect people who are out here doing things that help our kids, our elders, our people who are sick, our people who are ignorant, our people who've been miseducated, our people who don't have political power, who are not eating, right? Who are homeless. We got to respect those people because they're providing a service, right? That's important to our community. So with that said, family, thank you very much for listening. Please share, keep watching, give me your comments in the description section. And thank you so much, family. Peace and Black power. We will win. I don't care what nobody say. We got this, family. We got to believe in ourselves. Thank you. Peace.